Hey y'all, Connor here. Do you like playing video games?
No.
You probably wish there was a way to play with your friends without sitting on a couch together, right?
No.
Oh brother, you're not gonna believe this, but there's a way you can do just that. It's a little doozy I like to call online gaming. Online games are games that are played through the internet, or really any other computer network. They function as ways to connect with other people in real time over the internet, while also enjoying a fun game. They can span virtually any genre, be it shooters, strategy games, sandbox games, RPGs, or otherwise. The key thing that is universal, though, is that all online games have to be operated in real time to function. That means you can't do things like pause the game since other people are playing at the same time as you. Online games need to run on servers to work so that all the players can, well, actually play. To summarize, this is how a server works. Any given player is able to access a client, which translates the input of a player into information that is then sent to the server. The server then has to emulate that data in the game world with every player in real time. Oh, and it also has to keep itself constantly in check so that each player has a consistent experience. You want to know what all that takes? A lot of money.
I like money!
Interestingly enough, many online games opt to go free to play, which may sound like a stupid decision, but this is counteracted with copious amounts of in-app purchases, which inflate would-be sales figures and provides a bigger source of income.
Money!
Because online games connect people with each other over long distances, it brings people of all different backgrounds and personalities together, for better or for worse. For instance, you could meet a really awesome guy on Star Wars The Old Republic who decides to email 1 million in-game credits because you asked in the chat if anyone knew how to change your lightsaber color. But you could also get tricked into locking yourself into an air duct and rust and lose all your items and subsequently die. A lot of people you encounter in online spaces can also just be toxic in general. It's a bit difficult to exactly pinpoint when online gaming started and who's responsible for it. The earliest example I've seen dates back to the mid-20th century. History time! In the 1970s, the Plato time-sharing system was introduced, a system that allowed students in multiple different areas to view the same content. It was used for educational purposes and the like. However, students began to use these terminals to make simple multiplayer games instead of focusing on their education. See, millennials? It's not just kids these days. We've always been like this. As technology advanced, the concept of online multiplayer games was messily evolved over the years, so it's hard to identify where a lot of aspects of your favorite online games originated. It's been a slow and admittedly uncoordinated effort, just like me making this stupid video. The making of online games can be difficult. Not only do you have to account for all the server business I explained earlier, but online games in general just have to work differently. You can't have simple linear progression like in some other games. Rather, the game would likely need to be open-ended to keep people playing. A lot of other things that are overlooked in single-player games also have to be reworked. For example, in single-player first-person shooter games, your character isn't modeled since you're at a fixed point of view. In a multiplayer FPS, though, that's a necessity so that other players can actually see you, and vice versa. Due to the tenuous nature of online games and their communities, glitches and exploits are often abundant. For example, in all, creating and maintaining an online game is no easy feat, which is why studios might often have upwards of hundreds of people at a time working on just one game. In conclusion, there's a lot that goes into an online game. They have their drawbacks, of course, but it can be a very rewarding effort. Besides, gaming has only really been popular for the past 50 years or so. So imagine what online games can become in 50 more. Maybe you'll be able to inflict physical pain onto others in VR. Maybe that guy will get his 1 million credits back. And maybe, just maybe, we won't have another launch like Fallout 76.